Evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. Tonight, we continue our deep dive into the essence of creativity. Over the past few sessions, we have explored how a true creative life is a natural expression of a sincere, purified heart. We have seen how our inner will can be aligned with the divine to move us from effort to a state of effortless flow. Tonight, let's go to a step further and explore how the qualities of love, tenderness, and softness are the true well springs of our creativity and how they are essential for what Babuji Maharaj calls the new human race in the offing. Our heart is the center of our being, and love is its purest expression. When our hearts are filled with love, tenderness, and softness, our creativity becomes a beautiful outward manifestation of this inner state. It's no longer about a clever idea or a unique product. It's about infusing love into everything that we touch. This is the difference between simply performing a task and doing it with a touch of profound care. Taji reminds us that when we have love, tenderness, and softness in our hearts, we become so creative. This creativity isn't about grand gestures, it's about the small kind acts that can change a person's day. A gentle word, a moment of deep listening, or a simple offering of help. These acts are born not from any obligation, but from a heart that is so full of love, it simply overflows, touching and transforming everything in its path. Beyond love, tenderness, and softness are essential qualities for a creative life. Tenderness allows us to approach ourselves and others with compassion and gentleness. When we are tender with ourselves, we don't beat ourselves up for our mistake. We simply correct them with loving attitude. This inner tenderness creates the emotional safety required for creativity to flourish. Similarly, softness makes us receptive to subtle cues from the world and from within. A soft heart is not rigid, it is pliable, adaptable, and open to the new ideas and perspectives. It's this softness that allows us to connect with people on a deeper level and to find creative solutions to problems that a rigid mind would miss. When our hearts are soft, we become more human, more compassionate, and more capable of creating a world filled with harmony. And this is the very essence of the new human race Babuji speaks of, a humanity that operates from a place of heart centered creativity. Dear sisters and brothers, as always, a gentle request to please share the invitation of master classes and being heartful everyday sessions with your near and dear ones as well. And with this, we now resume the inspirational reading, which we are continuing from the article Imagination by beloved Taji. We have already read few sections of the article and we will now resume the reading. Jung thought that active imagination, a way of bringing vikalpa into awareness, springs from the desires and fantasies of the unconscious mind, which ultimately wants to become conscious. He showed that once such fantasies surface, they become weaker and less frequent. This technique was one of the several that would define Jung's distinctive contribution to the practice of psychotherapy. This technique not only has the potential to allow communication between the conscious and unconscious aspects of an individual's personal psyche, but also between the personal and collective unconscious. Clearing removes their root cause in the subconscious by directly removing the underlying impressions that are formed. There is no need to analyze, to understand, or to experience the effects of the impressions. Anything that colors the purity of the field of consciousness can lead to vikalpa, whether that distortion has come from the subconscious within or from the external environment around. For example, vikalpa may be the result of the atmosphere in a certain place. If you happen to pass through an area of a foreign city where there have been many crimes, you may suddenly be gripped with fear for no apparent reason. You are sensing the thoughts and feelings of the victims of those crimes. Whether the distortion has come from your inner environment or from the external environment, it is because of complexities that the mind wants to throw out in order to purify consciousness. That is why we have the practice of cleaning in heartfulness to remove all these impressions that have accumulated in our system from past experiences and also the ones we are creating in the present. Cleaning is much more direct practice than Jung's active imagination, as it bypasses the need to observe thoughts and emotions that surface into the conscious mind. Cleaning removes their root cause in the subconscious by directly removing the underlying impressions that are formed. There is no need to analyze, to understand, or to experience the effects of the impressions. They are simply removed, like dirt is removed from the body when taking a bath. When cleaning gradually, the background voice of Vikalpa reduces until eventually the field of consciousness is clear and pure. Otherwise, we always perceive ourselves and the world through a distorted consciousness and remain at the mercy of Vikalpa until we arrive at a stage of purity of consciousness. How can we make use of these fragmentary fantasies that arise in our thoughts, these Vikalpas, as Jung observed? They show us our subconscious desires and tendencies. By simply witnessing them arise and leave without judgment, it is like looking in an inner mirror. So we become aware of many aspects of our psyche, and we can then flow, and then we can then see how to define our personalities and tendencies. This awareness can then be used to define our character. In yoga, this is the practice of Swadhyaya or self study, one of the five niyamas, the second limb of Ashtanga Yoga. Dear sisters and brothers, let us take a pause from the reading and prepare ourselves to offer the universal prayer. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। May this universal prayer helps unify all hearts in love and bring serenity to the entire world. Dear sisters and brothers, as we come to the end of the day, take a few quiet moments for offering the inner reflections and the bedtime prayer. Gently look back on your day, the heart of inquiry but not the judgment, and offer these reflections in prayer, trusted that you are being guided. And this process helps you release things of the day and helps in identifying what we could have done better with the resolve of not repeating the mistakes again. We thank you for being here tonight and for your heartful participation. It is this shared commitment to inner work that strengthens our collective path. And we look forward to continuing our exploration on the theme of creativity in the tomorrow morning session, which is going to be at 6 a.m. Until then, may your life be a beautiful expression of peace and light, and wishing you all a very good night.